It's about 3 o'clock. I was up about 9, and today is not going to be a productive day. Um, I woke up. I noticed that very little had rendered overnight, so the only thing that had managed, I finished the one from yesterday, right? And that was it. So it was like, I didn't even get one vlog done overnight. Like, output it, right? Nonetheless, I picked the machine up, put it up here, got something to eat, watched a few things as I was eating, and the virtual machine crashed. Um, what this has meant has been kind of weird because okay, normally when the virtual machine crashes, it's the program inside the virtual machine rather than the virtual machine itself. This time it was the virtual machine itself that crashed, and I mean, it's obvious that it crashed because the machine was low on resources. I was trying to watch something, and like, this machine is so unacceptable that like I can't even watch, something on YouTube and output at the same time. So normally what I do is I take the files out of the virtual machine, I put them back on the laptop, and then I revert to the snapshot, and then I put the files back in, and that's fine. This is not letting me take the files out, so I'm trying a few different things. I think that the ultimate solution is that I'm going to have to clone it. I have to clone it and then reverse it and then add the new hard drive, because I mean the files play. It's a very strange. The files will play in the virtual machine, but I can't copy them anywhere. I can't double them. It's almost like there's some kind of a lock on it, and the lock might be from the editing software, right? So there might be some check on it, some one somewhere where there should be a zero. But I don't know how to take it off. So I'm just gonna clone the drive, and then I'll take the drive and I'll add it to the snapshot of the original one. I probably won't be able to copy the files, but I can at least export them, and then I can delete all that, and maybe even revert back again and then do it again. So, that's probably not even gonna get done for the day. It'll probably take a couple of days because I've got like a couple of vlogs I gotta render in there, and it's super slow. So, I think I'm gonna be spending a lot of time napping today. There's not really a lot else I can do really. I'm kind of stuck. My other machine's not turning on. I don't really have any leads. I'm going to have to do some research, and I'm going to need that machine to do the research. I have the other machine in the back, but that machine is never going on the internet ever again. So, I don't expect to do anything except I'm not tired. It's just I don't have anything to do, so I'm gonna nap. And maybe it'll be a long day in the end, but I have nothing to do except sleep, so I'm going to do that. This has just been every kind of a problem you can imagine. I can't clone it because if I were to clone it, I'd be putting it on my C drive, which is only 50 gigabytes because it's a program folder, and I can't set the program to put it onto my data drive, so I literally can't do that. So what I'm trying to do instead is trying to copy it, and hopefully I can just import the VDI afterwards. I tried to just copy it on the same same drive, but I actually got a CRC error, which I mean suggests, I mean, there's some kind of underlying data corruption, but I mean, I've done a check disk here. I did a check disk inside the virtual machine. I don't even know what that means, but I mean, I did it there and it was fine there. So I mean, I don't I don't know where the corruption is, but the next thing I'm doing is I'm trying to copy it over to my trusty external drive. And I'm almost there. I've got 30 some gigs worth 48. So it's just got to get down to under 10, and it's the big file I care about, right? I mean, I copied over the whole folder, but it's this big 37 gigabyte file. It's the big one at the top there, right? So if that works, then I should be able to go back to the snapshot, import that drive, and then do the export from there. Now due to that, and the way this is, it means that I'm gonna have to watch the other vlogs. Like I wanted to just export everything, but that doesn't make sense anymore because I gotta check to see, right? Because I'm gonna want to basically delete that as soon as possible. So I guess that's what I'm doing tonight, is watching the vlogs I outputted. I guess there's, what, 5 of them? Yeah, 5 of them. And didn't install on me, did you? Come on. 14.9. Okay, good. Whew. Scared me for a sec there. Okay. Yeah, I gotta watch those because I've got like, that's what's left on there, is the pieces for those logs, and I can't delete that until I've watched them. So that's tonight. Watch those, upload it, and that'll probably let me close season 14 after all, right? So I'll be into season 15 by tomorrow. Presumably that's how this works out. We'll have to see. It looks like this is gonna copy. Got 4 more gigs to go. I was just sitting there watching. I'll let you know. I spoke too soon. There's my CRCR. Okay. IO device error. I'm gonna try it again. But, is that a CRC0X8? I'm gonna try it again. See what happens. Now it's doing the same thing it did last time, but it cuts me down to 2. Okay. I'm gonna freeze this mic. I think there's something else going on here. Okay, I'm gonna try something else here. Okay, I'm gonna try and put it in a zip file. I acknowledge that there's some corruption, but it's kind of like it doesn't even matter, right? It's the only place I have the data. So long as it works, that's what's important, right? If this doesn't work, the next thing I can do is I can try and use a different piece of software. Try to find a different piece of software, install it in there, and then go from there. I'm not doing anything particularly complicated. I'm doing 3 things. I'm pasting together files. I'm increasing the volume, and I'm in some cases increasing the exposure. The problem is that I'm using a shareware software, and the shareware software has run out. So I'm not sure. I mean, I can't afford to buy software that's not even in the list of possibilities, right? I mean, and I wouldn't. I would stop vlogging before I bought software. So I'm just wondering if even yeah, this isn't really taking up too much of my okay. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can do a little bit of research and see if I can find something else. And I don't know exactly what's gonna. Well, that's something I can figure out. What exactly happens if I try to export it? Does it cut out? Does it tell me I can't? Does it remove the audio? Because even if I can export it in video and then export the audio separately, then I can pull it back and put it back together again, right? It's only I think 3 vlogs that I've got a problem with. It's 5, 6, 7, and 8. Right. Those ones came out, so it's just like the second half of that, and then that, and then 8, and then 9 is good too. Yeah. So it's three vlogs, and well, I'm gonna have to do 4 too, right? So I'll have to copy those in. So it's gonna be what, 1, 2. Yeah, it's gonna be 4 vlogs that I'm gonna have to deal with. Okay, let me figure out exactly what happens first. So let me open that up and determine. And then the strangest twist of all, I don't actually appear to have any functionality locked at all. There's no locks from what I can see. I'm just waiting for the the audio to process on this to be sure, but it looks like I don't want to say it was a waste of time because this is kind of a fluke, and it probably has something to do with the date, right? But if it's working, it's working, and it still doesn't change the logic. I still have to do those 4 vlogs and deal with them, and then go back and redo it. But it looks to me like it's just fine. I wasn't able to open the okay, now there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Well, I don't, but I can. Yeah. Okay. We won't do it for this one because I'll wait it out, but let me go back and see if I can, even just for the files that I can't copy, if I can import them into here, and if I can export them. I mean, it doesn't seem like it wants to tell me that I can't do it. It's exporting, right? Slowly, but doing it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, super slow, but actually, I wish I. Well, no, it's okay. No, it doesn't matter because. So it looks like it's gonna let me. I can just delete that, right? Because I've already got them here. Yeah. Okay. So there won't be full vlogs anyways, but the. In fact, we're gonna yeah. So it looks like it's going to let me export it into the rough, and then I can start over again from there. Okay, let's hope that works, because I think that's my last chance here before I have to try to download some new software. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll export it one file at a time, right? So I've got what is that? This drive is so screwy. It's like maybe 10. I think it's probably going to be close to around 25 files. And so I'll take each one out separately and I'll put them back where they were, and then we'll start this all over again. It's how it's got to be, right? But it means that it'll just be the 5 that I've already got. Okay, yeah, and it'll actually save me a little bit of time. What happened? My machine just got bogged down, and something broke somewhere. And like I said, it's probably a 1 set somewhere, and I can't change it. I don't know how, but it looks like the corruption is actually on the hard disk out here, right, not inside. And I don't know what to do. I don't know how to fix it. So we'll go from here. Now that's not working either. When I try to import it into the program, it crashes the same way as if I tried to copy it somewhere. But that doesn't really make any sense because I can play it. So if I can play it, can I stream it? Can I try and stream it into a new... I don't know. I'm starting to, from what I can see, it's not going to make any difference if I can... What I've been trying to do isn't going to work, from what I can see. It's just... There's something about the file that's not letting me, like whenever I try to, you know? So even if I was to find a new program and edit it with a different program, from what I can see, I would come up with the same issue because I'm having it with all these other issues. Sorry, all these other programs, right? And I've got this weird thing coming up. It tells me it can't run Control-Alt-Delete. I'm kind of concluding that I don't want to call it a virus because it's obviously not a virus. I seem to have some kind of external control. I don't know why the CIA is so intent on preventing me from opening these files, but it seems as though it is. What did I do on these days? I went and I got some thermal paste for my laptop, and I tried to put it together, and it didn't quite work. Apparently that's something that they want me to not talk about. I'm not sure where I go from here, but I'm gonna see. I'm gonna verify that I can actually watch it in the video. Like, maybe I'll record it. That's something I could try, right? It's a possibility. I could like record it on here, and and then reinsert it. This is what this is. This is a massive waste of time. That's what it is. Alright, I was wrong. It seems to crash at 19 seconds, but if I skip past 19 seconds, I think it'll be okay. Let me double check. Okay, I was able to get a couple over. Some of them aren't working, so I'm gonna have to. There's gonna be trial and error. What ends up happening is the whole machine crashes, right? I'm gonna have to see which ones I can take off, one at a time, and the ones I can't take off, I'm gonna refilm it using this, but it's gonna be a 2-step process because I'll have to do it once and it'll crash like it did, and then I'll have to figure out like at what point it crashes at, and then go back there. So there's gonna be a lot of careful editing and piecing it together afterwards. But this is what I got, and it's going to be weird because the explanation is going to come like 3 months after it actually happens. But that's what it's going to be, because that's the best I could do. Okay, I think I've got an answer. It's time consuming, but it's better than filming it. Virtual Dub will allow me to open the file, determine where the cut is, cut it, and then hopefully break it into 2 pieces. So, let's see where that goes from there. It's telling me to like, okay. This is what happens when you tell me I can't terminate a process. Fuck off. Okay. This is gonna be slow, but it'll get done eventually. That was easier said than done. But I'm trying to figure out like how much. I'm down to like 5 or 6. There's like 5 or 6 files. It's the I got all of the 8th off, right? So there's a couple of files from the 5th and 6th, and the first 2 from the 7th, but they're both very long for the 7th. And I'm almost thinking like it seems like the check bit is where I last. Ooh, one of the files containing the system's registry has been. Okay, like that's bizarre. But I mean, it's consistent with what I'm saying, which is that I seem to have. I think that this problem was ultimately caused by the police. I think I've got cops of some kind on here. I'm almost wondering if the issue is like it's like it's where I left off, right? So it seems like each of these files, and there's let me see how many exactly. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but these 5 are all fairly short, relatively short, right? 14, 219, 13, 13, and I'm in 11. The other 2 are both like 6 minutes, 8.5, 7. It's almost like I was saying that there's a 1 somewhere where there should be a 0. It's like it's the point where I stopped watching, because the file that the player that I use, SM Player, puts a little check in the file at the point where I stopped it, and it's almost like the cops are really stupid and they couldn't figure that out, and they think like that I put like a bookmark for like the Russians or something, right? Even though it's just what the player does. So what the player does is it marks in the file where you stopped it, so that when you open it again, it reopens at the place that you stopped it. It's just a different kind of media player. It's a Linux media player, and it's smart like that. Unlike the cops that seem to think I'm marking something, right? Like the time I did the dishes, that's where it stops on this one, because I want to send back to Moscow the time that I did the dishes. I'm convinced that this is what I'm dealing with, because like the way that this is happening, like I either that or my hard drive just able to go. I'm sure Moscow was very interested in the time I did the dishes. You fucking idiots. I think that the files have like I thought it was just like there was like a second, and I could just cut out like a thinking of it like a tape, as though there was like a kink in it, right? Just cut it and paste it back together, sort of thing. But I'm realizing that there's like larger, like 30-second chunks on some of the files. So I ran a check disk earlier, but I think it was on the wrong drive. Well, I mean, it was an automatic check disk. I'm doing more of a forced check disk this time, and it's a little bit slower. I don't know what it's gonna say, but if I'm getting I/O errors, I mean, it's gotta be. I gotta run a check disk. It's gotta, you know. I was thinking I'd just, you know, kind of not deal with it, but I mean, that's not. I may lose some data. That might be how this goes, but I'm not. I'm not gonna give up easily. So, like I say, worst case scenario, I'll record myself. So, like I'll play it on the computer and record it. But I mean, I'm gonna even then I'm gonna miss some parts, right? So let's see what the check disk says. It might take all night. I don't know. I'll find it. I can't sleep, and I can't check anything online. So I'm gonna do something that might seem a little bit silly. I'm gonna put this back together again, minus the top, so there's no top. The intent, I'm gonna put it back together again in order to drain the capacitor, because I can't think of any other reason why I can't get a circuit, even though, I mean, see, the thing is, I think I did that the last time. I can't remember. Well, I can't right now because I'm running a check disk, but I'm going to put it back together again for that reason and see what happens. That didn't help, but this was assembled the last time I let it sit, so let's try it again. I just can't accept that the monitor or the video really shorted it permanently. It doesn't make sense to me. There's got to be a way to get that back. Yeah, I mean, I'm stuck. I need to do some reading on that before I can understand what to do next. I need to get on the computer. I better check this running. I'm just like, but I'm not tired. So it's like, I don't even know. I know it's easy to tell me to go, you know, go make some art. But I mean, I have a process, and like, I've already explained over and over again that I'm not making any more new art. I'm completing a process of the past, and then I'm probably going to kill myself. So it's just like, what this is really doing is it's making me live longer for whoever's benefit. I don't even know. But it's just like, if I can get done, and I can die, and then everybody's happier. It's just, the first half of this, the last couple of years have been a catastrophe. It's just, I can't get back, you know? And I mean, it's like, go watch them. Like, my computers break, I've got fighting with the landlord. It's like, it's issue after issue after issue. But I mean, this is why I'm doing this, right? People will look at this in 100 years and they'll say, why didn't she complete more? And this is why, because my life has been a comedy of catastrophes. It's like one thing after another. And it's like, I win every fight, but why do I have to have these stupid fights over and over again? It's just, it's a struggle. It's a life full of struggles that I don't want. And the fact that I win them is of no like, I'd rather not struggle than win them. And I'm not proud. I don't walk away from it happy. It's just like frustrated that I'm wasting so much time. But I feel like I do need to do this. Like, I could just stop, right? I could stop doing this, delete all the files, and, you know, but I feel like this is necessary. And so I'm going to stick to it. My check disk might be close to being done. I'm on, I think, stage 4.